Lakshmiji, there
Yes.
was an example, a prakriya, which was told by Guruji in the video, which tells that how you will arrive at the, the star, which is the Arundhati Nakshatra. How you arrive?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
Yeah, I'll explain.
yeah, can you please?
I'll explain.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Now I remember. Thank you so much for telling that.
Mm.
See, he was giving an example of Arundhati star. So there, where they first the person will show the moon and then Venus and then another star and then the smaller star. So from a bigger one to very smaller one. So similarly, in our body to reach to the self-knowledge, we have to understand gross, causal, and gross, and then subtle, and then causal. So we have to first identify the gross body, and then we have to go for the subtle, and then the causal body. Okay, so this gross body, we should know that I am not the body, because that is an object. Body is an object. We have to see it as an object, because we can see that, we can feel that. Because it is an experience. When that experience cannot be the subject. So so that is it. When it is an object, it has to be like we have to get separated with that, and separately we have to identify. So that is and from then it goes on to identify the subtler and subtler level of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. This prakriya is like saying neti prakriya. This is Arundhati Nyaya, what the prakriya name is. So we come to identify that our real self by eliminating all the things which are just surrounded, and it is as Ramana Maharshi says, it's in the Hridayam. We have to identify that. So thank you, Lakshmiji. So any
Lakshmiji, that gross to subtle, you are right actually, but in that how it is they say the body is gross, subtle, and causal. Causal means why you have taken this birth, taken this body is the causal, they say. And Sukshma Sharira is, this is visible Sharira, right? And then inside you have a feeling that I am, right? That is called Sukshma. Yeah, this is Tula. That feeling inside that I am is called Sukshma Sharira.
Okay.
And the causal is in the seed form. It's there inside.
Oh.
And once when you get realized, that gets burnt, they say. It will not be there anymore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. So I will summarize now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This video, it was known as the three bodies. Now, the nature of self-realization is to become aware, or to know that we are aware is the question. We are already the Atma. We have to just know it. That is, we have to recognize it. It is what Gurudeva says. Then he talks about the two types of knowledge, wherein the subjective and the objective knowledge. Then we are like Vedanta is helping us to understand our nature. How Vedanta is helping us? The purpose of Vedanta is to remove all confusions. That is to recognize the infinite self is the purpose of Vedanta, we can say. Then the recognition of having what is already is getting the happiness, or knowing that we are happiness. It is we are knowing that we are happiness, is we are approaching slowly towards that. Like in our childhood, we were just like we were given a God concept. that everywhere there is God. Okay, all forms are belonging to God only, and all these things. But we were not understanding how to do it. So Vedanta or the Vedamata is giving us all the prakriyas, and the purpose of Vedanta is to recognize ourselves. Then in the Vedas, God is explained as Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. The existence is the substance that cannot be destroyed. For example, Guruji said that when you are burning a body, ashes will remain, and still atoms, the molecules and atoms, subtler and subtler things will remain. Nothing is going to, just become extinguished, or it won't get nothing gets disappeared. Everything stays in the form of ashes, in the form of atoms. Then he gives the example of is the chair or the stone is a conscious or not, because the chair or the stone is not conscious, because it is the higher levels of consciousness is missing in that. But I am aware that that is a stone, I am aware that that is a chair. So the Chaitan is going to give the consciousness to the Jada here. The consciousness aspect is manifested in human beings, and the existence and the consciousness is actually predominantly, if you arrive at the Neti process, it is there. But the trivial aspect is the bliss. We are searching mostly the bliss part of it. Existence and consciousness, we are mostly aware. When we are told by the Guru, we are aware of the existence and consciousness, but the missing part, the bliss, we are searching actually in various, our various searches. It is actually the search of bliss only. Then we will understand in this video that how to find bliss by studying or by arriving at the subtle points which are given by Guruji through Vedanta. Now, conditioning is known as Upadhi in Vedanta. And we see that there are a lot of conditionings which are forming layers and layers in us, which are avoiding us to recognize our true nature. And here Guruji talks about the red glasses which we put, and how the conditioning of the red glasses makes us, see everything as red. Now we have forgotten bliss because of the conditioning only. He says that we have forgotten. But once we are doing the Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasa, we understand gradually that our true nature is bliss. Then he gives the example of space inside and outside the house. And he explains that the space is the space which is so subtle and infinite, it itself cannot be recognized if we divide it into the space inside the house and the space outside the house. We think that we are owning this house because of the walls, but he says that the space inside this house is making it useful. So the usefulness is always of the space. That is, the usefulness of us, the bliss part of us is the usability part which we have to recognize to understand the greater part of achieving this birth. Actually, what he says is, similarly, there is like a higher level logic and lower level logic. He talks about the objective logic, where you understand lot of things like studying physics and chemistry. This is all fine. The subjective logic, by the use of prakriyas, by understanding how many conditioning upadhis are there, and by doing neti, by doing lot of, there are so many discretionary prakriyas which are known as nyayas, and there are mostly many prakriyas which in the last video and this video, the three prakriyas which were spoken about was three bodies, then the Viveka, the Vairagya part of it, and then we came to the Avasthatraya, that is the three states right now. All these prakriyas are making us more and more subtler. The intellect is becoming subtler and subtler. This is the higher level logic of the Vedanta. And obviously, what is clarity? I am Brahman is the clarity. It is the ultimate clarity we really want to approach. That clarity, the Shariratraya Prakriya starts with explaining the body. Then it says there are three dimensions to it, the three states of that, and it again comes to the body is inert and all, and they do the neti, the nitya satya viveka they'll put here, and they will say that the atma anatma viveka you have to use, and then he says that the satya mithya, that is the Brahman is satya, the jagat is mithya, because jagat is an appearance, it does not have an independent entity. Then he says that what is Jada Chaitanya Nyaya or the Jada Chaitanya Viveka. Then he arrives at the Avasthatraya Prakriya, that is the three states, wherein we are understanding the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep. And he says that how the Turiya state, which is the background, the screen, which is holding all these three states, and all these three states are actually superimposed on the Turiya. They are superimposed. And when we are in the waking state and understanding that actually the Turiya state is my state, the state where the Turiya is the self, the nature of the self. To arrive to that, we will have to adopt the prakriyas which have been taught, wherein the intellect becomes subtle, and after that the intellect's job is over. To experience Turiya, intellect will be up to only the doorstep it will be available. After that, it is the consciousness knows consciousness. The intellect does not know consciousness after that. So this was the total video which was told by Guruji. Hope it was the summary was clear enough.
Chetanji,
Yeah.
it's wonderfully explained.
Yeah, very nice.
Wonderfully explained.
Thank you.
We actually
Very
we
nice.
come to
Whole,
know.
process, 1 hour, this one.
Yeah, we
1
come to
hour,
know.
this one.
Yeah.
Very nicely you took.
Yeah, I thought so.
Because
when
it
I
was
was
like bits and this one. Sometimes after going through the whole video, and I actually personally I don't make down any note. Whatever has got into my mind, I will explain. That's what I do. So yours was like the whole thing was explained in 5 minutes. Just
Correct.
it takes. I mean,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, the beautiful part of this video was the intellect is going to let you know the doorway. It is going to stop at the steps. To go into the Garbhagriha is unknown. The unknown can only go into the unknown. That is, consciousness can only know that. And there will be no one who is going to come back and tell us how was the experience. It was
Yeah, I would say intellect is left much back. Your bhava will remain, the love, right? That will take you the doorstep, that I can say. Yeah. Intellect is only for the worldly vyavaharas. And inside for neti, there is not much of intellect is required. Not this also, this also. After that, there is no one to say also. The saying part, right? Not this, the one who says, he is also left. After that, that's all. Intellect is gone. what intellect is there after that? But bhava is there. It's even subtler. If you have love here, that is to the doorstep, I can say through my experience.
True,
I
true.
request all of you, my sincere request to all of you is to follow at least silent sittings for at least 1 ghatika, 40 minutes, because whatever we will be understanding through the videos of Guruji, my sincere, very short experience. I don't have experience of years together or something. I don't know anything. I am actually nothing, but I request you, all of you, to just 40 minutes would give you a
Yeah.
lot of unknown things which we may not be able to speak, but
Correct.
it's very good to have with us.
Just like intellect, the speaking is also very limited, very much, it can cross very basic gross things. When it gets subtler and subtler, there is no way you can explain it. And there is no proper pathway there. It's like the space itself, open sky, and you have to make your own path. Nobody can give you the pointers there in the sky. It's like the bird has flown away, but you have to somehow, when you get the glimpses, right, you have to remember them. Samyak Smriti, Buddha says that glimpses are the pointers. You have to later those glimpses become bigger and bigger. You will be able to remain the whole day in that bhava, I would say. Then that openness goes bigger and bigger, and you are established. That doesn't go away anymore. Mind doesn't cover it up. So that's how it goes. This consciousness part, Sheetalji was saying, they say there are 3-4 levels we can recognize. See, the first level is, they say the example given is thermostat. It recognizes its environment and says the temperature, guesses it, notes it, or tells you what is the temperature. So after that, our reptilian level of consciousness, which is fight or flight, food, sex. So that is our lower part of the brain. And then the next level, which is third level, I suppose, it's like a monkey brain, they say. It's our social level, where social hierarchies, all that, everything comes. Then after that comes the proper spiritual level of intellect, which is forehead and this prefrontal cortex, or whatever they say, and the top part. And if you try to explain it in this way, let's say, okay, I think Guruji himself said this. These mountains, these stones, mountains are little bit more awake than the stones, I would say. Mountain has like one dimension. It has a little bit of sense that it exists. You can feel it. And after that, if we take plants, they know little bit more than the mountain that they exist. They even sense others also. If you go to a plant with the intention of cutting it, it senses it. So when it comes to its threat to its life, it recognizes it. So it doesn't feel pain or anything, but that much consciousness is there. Then after that, we'll say animals. Animals are like when you are in a dream, right? Somebody comes, you are threatened, you run away, all that. Mostly you are scared only in your dreams. And it's like early morning dreams, right? Sometimes you get something, and the flash of consciousness, again it goes off. Again you're in the fear mode and all that. So after that, the next level is the human level. After animal, it's like it's early morning. Sometimes you're trying to wake up a little. You are half awake and half still in the dream type of a situation. Sometimes you are awake more and then you go back to a half sleep or dream kind of state. This is how most of the people live. But a jnani, realized one, he is like in the mid-afternoon, they say. It is full bright, everything so crystal clear, there is no darkness anymore. So this is the highest level we can get to. Highest level of consciousness. I hope I explained to you the consciousness levels.
This is actually beautifully said by Rumi. Rumi, Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi. He beautifully said what you said. He says that consciousness sleeps in minerals and stones. Consciousness dreams in plants. Consciousness wakes up in animals, and consciousness becomes self-aware in human beings.
Correct.
So this is by Rumi. And today, thank you so much everybody for giving your valuable time. And I request you all to have at least one silent sitting per day for 40 minutes. One silent sitting. Yeah, I will close off with the prayer.
Pitalji, 1 minute. Pitalji, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Can you please, of course, because going through the YouTube this and then searching for that particular one, it is a little difficult. Can you please around Tuesday, Wednesday, can you please post the next video?
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
The coming video, right? The day 6.
Yeah. Next video 6 or 7.
I will right now. I will immediately post the. Immediately after this session, I'll post. Lakshmi.
Because what happens, at least whenever we find time, we can. I of course we have to sit.
I'll do that.
So that 3-4 times we can just. 3-4 times we can just.
Got it. So I will put a Kannada one for you if you want personally for you. The same thing.
No, English is fine.
Fine. Okay. Because the Kannada will be shorter. That's why. Kannadas are generally.
No, not for that. I am not asking for the shorter this one so that I can finish it off. No. Okay. Let it be in English only.
English. I'll post it immediately.
At least if it is posted earlier, some 3 to 4 times we can see that, and so that the class can prepare properly.
Yeah, sure. Day 6, Tattva Bodha, I'll immediately post. Yeah. So let me finish with the prayer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Asatoma Sadgamaya.
Asatoma Sadgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityorma Amrutangamaya.
Mrityorma Amrutangamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Hari Om, everybody. Thank you so much. See you next week. Same
Hari
time.
Yeah, Hari Om. Yeah.
Thank you
Namaste
so much. Hari Om.